Hi everybody, this is Terry Stein. I'm one of the Azure Partner Channel Development Managers here at Microsoft, and I'm focused in on the SMB side of our business. I want to welcome you to another episode in the Demystifying series, where today we're going to demystify cloud objections, and specifically the lack of bandwidth. So being from the central part of the US, the Microsoft teams often hear about how there's a general lack of bandwidth to effectively make use of the cloud and be productive. The reality is, though, that there's a lot of cloud computing going on every single day in every single city in the US. Take a look at your smartphone as example. Nearly everyone has one. Think about the fact that most any service or app that you connect to or through with your smartphone is leveraging a back-end server infrastructure in the cloud. People do their online banking to servers in the cloud. People make purchases through online shopping as part of the cloud. People are even streaming videos and movies to their smartphones, and many times even doing that across the cellular network. The speed of the cellular network doesn't even come close to the speed of internet connectivity that most SMB businesses have access to. An additional factor here is that many companies have options for employees to work outside of the corporate office. As computing solutions move to the cloud, all that an employee needs is an internet connection, really, and internet connections nowadays are available almost anywhere you go. So if an employee works from home or works from their local coffee shop or anywhere else, they aren't using the same internet pipe that the employees in the corporate office are using. But the reality is in the numbers. So let's take a look at the examples in the chart. I won't go through the math in detail here, but you can see it on the screen. For the Exchange example, we have 100 heavy Office Outlook users who would need 37K per second of bandwidth to support that workload. The last time I saw speeds that low was when I was working with customers who had dial-up connections. So how about the SharePoint example? Again, 100 users. That equation works out to needing 800 bits per second. It just doesn't take much bandwidth to get the job done. And you can see the Skype example here as well that shows some easy calculations that would support the bandwidth in most any organization. When we start talking about bandwidth in Azure, let's think about things like backup and disaster recovery, where bandwidth usage can be throttled during the work hours and then increased during non-working hours. Even to go a step further, let's talk about compute in the cloud. That computing happens on the servers in the cloud. It doesn't happen on the bandwidth connection. The query is sent up and the results are sent back over the internet connection. If you're not certain about your customer scenario, leverage the 30-day free trial for your customer to have them test it out. I find that many people write off the notion of moving to the cloud because of a personal bias, but truly haven't tested their scenario. Test it out. I think you'll be pleased with the result. If you'd like to learn more, feel free to check out the resources that I've identified here on the screen. There's a network planning and performance tuning tool for Office 365 that you can leverage if you'd like. Additionally, I did a short video some time ago on this topic in my series Off-Prem with Terry that may help you. Feel free to check that out too. Ultimately, the lack of bandwidth argument isn't really much of a valid argument in today's world. Show the numbers, do the math for your customer, and test it out. You'll be glad you did. So that brings us to the close of this segment, and hopefully you're prepared a little better for the discussion on bandwidth concerns. Great selling!